Philly thing. You ready? Let's go.
All right. A little bit of a mishap with the live recording, but welcome to the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. I'm your host, Asif Badi. And listen, I'm hearing a lot of freaking noise about this Eagles training camp and how the offense is struggling. And let me tell you, it means absolutely nothing. First off, it's training camp. I mean, Allen Iverson said it best. Practice. We're talking about practice, man. Like, that is what we are talking about. And listen, nothing really bothers me more than overreactions in regards to football teams and how they have to make drastic changes to the roster and all that jazz. Listen, Howie Roseman doesn't need to add anything new to the offense. He doesn't need to do anything different to the offense. It's still so early on in the process that you can't even give an objective analysis of what this team will look like going forward. It's still too early. I mean, it's day 3 of training camp. I mean, my goodness. It's August 3rd. We haven't put on pads yet. And yet, we're sitting here talking about how the offense has not had a passing touchdown. Now, I know today, Jalen Hurts had a couple of passing touchdowns in camp thus far. He had a 1-yard out to Devontae Smith, and I believe another throw over the middle to Elijah Moore. So, the passing touchdowns bit, here you go, everybody. Here the reporters are going to say, wow, the offense actually scored the ball. Whoop-de-doo. It's practice. These are the things that occur. You have to be able to go into practice and just work on the things that you suck at. Now, from what I understand on how practices go, they don't necessarily just run plays based on, oh, we are in the red zone, we're going to run this to try to score. No, they have a sequence of plays that they try to get through and they try to work on. And if they somehow score, great. You get a cookie. If you don't, it is what it is. You work through it in practice. So this idea that the offense is struggling, listen, it's supposed to be a struggle at the moment. It's a new scheme. It's a new offense, a new coordinator. Everybody on the offense, outside of Dontavian Wicks, is being asked to do something that they have not done in their career. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver room, offensive lineman. Every single individual on the offense is being asked to do something completely different than what they've done throughout their entire career. So yes, are the offensive struggles supposed to happen? Sure. Do they ultimately mean anything? Not until you put the pads on. Not until you go out there on the field and play against opposing defenses. Because quite frankly, when it comes to just playing football, a lot of the times it's, hey, are my guys better than your guys? And can I out execute you? And if the answer to that is yes, then you got a freaking offense. Then you got an offense that's going to score the ball. But as of right now, this offense not being able to move the ball at a high percentage clip, I'm not expecting that. I'm not even expecting it throughout the season. I expect it's going to take about 5 to 6 weeks before we really truly see what this Philadelphia Eagles team is capable of. The fact that we don't play preseason games with the starters also contributes to that. Generally, the first month of the year, especially when it comes to games, don't mean a damn thing for the Philadelphia Eagles other than let's win the game. Now, I don't personally like that strategy, even though it's worked for them these past few years. I personally believe that, hey, if you got a new offense and you got new installation, you should probably get as many reps against live action teams as you can, which is why those joint practices are really important to the Philadelphia Eagles outside of the preseason games, but that's neither here nor there. Point being is, the offense struggling doesn't mean a damn thing. Nobody get your knickers in a bunch. All of those Jalenites who are saying, hey, the fact that we're not throwing touchdowns in practice, it's just practice. Don't worry about it. I tend to be a little bit more in that camp. Although I will say I wish he did take more chances in camp. That's the whole point of it, but neither here nor there. And then the other side of the spectrum where they're saying, wow, this guy can't even throw a touchdown in practice. I would just say calm down. Give it a little bit of time to marinate. When you're making chicken, you don't just put the spices on there and throw it in the oven. No. You gotta let it sit on the chicken for a little bit. Put it in the fridge for 24 hours. Let the marination seep in, and then you throw that bad boy in. Right now, this offense is in the marination period. Let this thing marinate. Let Sean Mannion, let Nick Sirianni, let Chris Cooper do their job in trying to build the best product for this team. Remember, everybody is learning something new, as I mentioned before. So I don't want to hear that, oh, we're struggling on offense, we can't complete a pass and all that jazz. No. Don't worry about all that. The thing you need to worry about is, one, injuries, making sure nobody gets hurt. Now on defense, you had Jonathan Grenard's injury last week, which is something to keep an eye on for the rest of the year. But as long as you go through camp and you have good execution for the majority of it, guys are learning, and no injuries, major injuries, I should say, come out of camp, that's a win. That's what you're looking for. I don't care about how many passes my quarterback completes or how many touchdowns or interceptions he has in practice. Who gives a rip? Those things don't ultimately count. So why am I going to put stock in how much severity is in, oh, he threw a 1 yard out to Smitty. The offense scored. Yeah, good for them. In practice, that's fine. Like it is what it is. Like, it doesn't really matter what happens in practice unless they look completely awful, that they have no comprehension of the offense, that they have no idea what's going on. As long as they don't look incompetent, all is good. All is genuinely good in Philadelphia. And listen, this offense is going to struggle, in my opinion, out the gate. I think having a whole new scheme, a whole new system, it's a little tough to go out there and suggest we're going to hit the ground running. Now, the schedule in the beginning of the year does help out a little bit, because I know we get Washington, we get the Tennessee Titans, and we get another squad before we get the Rams. But I think it's the Bears, if I'm not mistaken. But point being is, those are going to be the games where you look at and you say, wow, the offense still is a little clunky. You'll see some flashes here and there, but the offense is going to be a little clunky right out the rip. And that shouldn't be a time where we grow impatient. That shouldn't be a time where Eagle fans are suggesting, hey, we got to get rid of this Sean Mannion guy. We got to get rid of Nick Sirianni. We got to get rid of Jalen Hurts. No. You got to let this thing marinate a little bit more. We know the defense is going to be really good. We expect the defense to be really good. For the first few weeks of the year, that's going to be what carries this team. On the back end of the year, at least that's my expectation, on the back end of the year is when you're going to see whether or not this offense can go out there and execute at a high level. And if they do, now you're cooking with fire. Because if we go into the playoffs, if we win enough games, 9, 10 games, whatever games you need to get to the playoffs, if we get to the playoffs and the offense is clicking a little bit more, plus the defense is playing at the level that we all anticipate as Eagles fans they're going to play at, this is going to be a team that's going to cause a lot of problems in the NFC playoff picture. However, the big question is, can this offense pick up when the defense lacks? Can they score at a higher clip? Can they be more efficient on first and second down so they're never in third and long? And that's really what Sean Mannion's job is. Can he get Jalen Hurts to run the football a little bit more? Because if he does, now all of a sudden the offense dynamic becomes that much more potent. This is going to take time. That's really what this is. This is going to take time. The struggles right now ultimately mean nothing. The defense in training camp are always going to be ahead of the offense. And I expect this defense in particular to be ahead of the offense because it's the third year in the same system. They haven't had to change. Personnel changes have not been that drastic. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows their assignment. They've played in live action reps in this defense. Vic Fangio's still calling the plays. So nothing drastic has changed on defense. So I expect the defense to be locked in and actually being ahead of the curve, so to speak. It's why we all anticipate this defense being really, really good this year, right? It's because they've done this before. They've played at a high clip before, right? So, again, I don't anticipate this offense hitting the ground running out the rip. I expect the defense to carry its water for the first few weeks of the year. And by week 7, by week 8, or essentially, by the time the bye week rolls around, which is about week 10, that's when you'll know what team Philadelphia is going to be. That's when you know whether or not this experiment has worked. That's when you know whether or not the Philadelphia Eagles as an organization are going to move forward with Jalen Hurts or get rid of Nick Sirianni or vice versa. By week 10 of this season is when you need to know. That's when everybody's going to figure out whether or not this experiment was worth it. Again, until I see otherwise, this is going to be the Midwest offense until we see a dynamic change in how we play offensive football in Philadelphia. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I do want to hear more coming out of camp in regards to the offense, because again, right now they are currently practicing, so there are live tweets coming out as we speak, but I just want to see the trajectory go up a little bit more, right? Like, as long as you get into the games and you see incremental improvements, as Nick Sirianni talked about in the press conference recently, incremental improvements is what you want to see going into the regular season. That's what matters. I don't care about the stats. I don't care about whether or not he throws a pick here or no picks here or no touchdowns here or a touchdown here. The things you're hearing out of camp, Jalen Hurts is excited about the offense. He's operated it well on some days. He looks leaner, right? Saquon Barkley looks leaner. Smitty looks like he's really ready to be number one receiver. Jalen Hunt is standing out in camp. The defense looks excellent. Like, those are the things that you want to hear going into the regular season. I don't give a rip about training camp grades. He got a D+ because he didn't have a touchdown today, or he's going to get an A+ today because he threw 2 touchdowns. And what's the again, this is a little bit of a tangent here, and then I'm going to end this episode. What's the difference between a rushing touchdown from the 1-yard line versus a passing touchdown from the 1-yard line? Who gives a crap? If Jalen Hurts scores a quarterback sneak touchdown from the 1-yard line, why is that more valued or less valued than a 1-yard out? Who gives a crap? If you score, you score. Get the ball in the end zone however you got to get it in the end zone. That's just my opinion when it comes to the offense, because I hate when people try to use it as a knock on the quarterback. Let the guy score the damn ball, and if you get 26 points a game, you're cooking with fire. Anyways, that's all I got for today's episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll see you back here next time for the next episode of the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. Hey, thank you so much for getting through this episode of the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. If you want more content just like this, hit the subscribe button below to lock in with me. Thank you so much for your support on the opposite side of the camera, and check us out on other platforms in the description box below. And we'll see you back here next time for the next episode of the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast.